Hello, this is David Birch at Starpath School of Navigation with a note on a new tool which I just ran across by accident today, which in fact could be handy for reading weather maps in some circumstances. And here is, and it's called Pixelstick, and this is for the Mac. And I have to find one that's an equivalent tool for the PC. But here is the device, Pixelstick. Plumamazing.com, and it looks like they have like a 30-day trial, and but the product itself is $7. So I want to just demo one feature of that using for weather maps. And so here's a weather map we downloaded for the well, this is service analysis, and so let me just zoom that guy in. Something like that. And let's say we want to measure the distance, how far this low moved in one day, or more to the point, what we're after usually is figuring the wind direction and wind speed based on these isobars. They have winds here, but remember they only give winds greater than 30, 35 knots, I think 34 technically, for these forecasts. This is a forecast map. So we might want to know what the forecast winds in this region are, or here, or here, somewhere like that. And we can figure that from our table. And in fact, let me see if I have here Kindle. This is the book. This is our textbook, and let me just see that table. Okay, so here's a table. So with this table, you can measure the spacing of 4 degree of isobars that are 4 millibars apart. And if they're 3 degrees of latitude, that would be 180 miles, and you're at latitude 30, then you should have wind of 21 knots. So that's a table that you could use for doing that. But you have to measure then this distance. So here comes this tool, and this is a very small little app, and it has this device here, and then I have set some I've shut off almost all of their fancy things to go right down to the basics, and then this is just measuring the pixel difference between these 2 points, here, the pixels. And then the angle, like this is straight up, that's 0, and the angle is written, I think, right here. And but it's always minus, and I haven't figured out yet how to make that plus. But you see, there's 0, and now we're going to 40 degrees. There's about 90, 180, 220, and so forth. So you measure angle, then you measure distance, and And I've set up the scale here. This one, let's see where you edit it. So you can change the scale. So with this tool then we can come over and we can set this scale, just put it here, and let's say here. So that would be 10 degrees, that's 600 nautical miles. So you go over here and put 600, then click this, and that converts the scale. And so then you have the distance around there. Like that. So you see that distance is 370. But we have to keep in mind that this is a long region here. So this is 600. These are quite a bit different. So if we wanted to measure this distance very accurately, we should probably home in on that. Let's see if I can get in there. Oh, okay. So there's that distance there. Okay, so let's do it a little bit better. So let me just take this guy up here. Well, let's say here and here. Okay, that's like that. So that's 2 degrees. That's 120 miles. So I'm going to go over here and scale that to 120 and then click it. Did I click it? Yeah, I guess I did. So that's okay, cancel. Wait a minute. Preferences. So that's 120. This ought to hopefully be 60, something like 60, yeah, there. So then you could go here and measure from here to here, and you see that that low is moving. It looks like it's 656 miles, 656 nautical miles in 24 hours. That's what this X means, and that X next 24 hours. So that's 656 miles, 24 hours. So you could go here and take a calculator, 656 divided by 24 equals, That's a fast-moving low, but it's winter. It's 27 knots. So that's what, and then what direction it's going? 088. 088 is the direction of that low, moving that way. So then if we come over here, let's come over now to measure. And remember, our table wants to measure these spacings in terms of latitude degrees. And keep in mind, these weather maps cover a large range, so you got to pretty much home in on where you're where you're working. So let's just say we want to know the distance here, right here. So you would just put like this guy here, this guy up here. Okay, so there and there. Now let's just say that that unit is 2. That's 2 degrees. And click this. So that's the scale now for this. So then you could come over here and just put this here to here and say that has a latitude spacing of 1.7 degrees. 1.7 degrees. These guys over here that are giving rise to this wind, they're more like 1.2 degrees. And then again, notice I'm staying pretty close to the same latitude with this scale. But this now, this wind's going to be quite a bit weaker in this region, Bay Area, because that spacing is 3.6 degrees. So that's how you could use this tool. And it looks interesting. I have to play with it some more. And also look for a PC version. So that's something to play with. It's called Pixelstick. And the company that makes it is called Plum Amazing. $7. Or I don't know, a demo. I don't know how long a demo will work. Let's stop there.